leading Britain's conversation with Ian Collins.
And good evening. Coming up later.
When you come from a working class background, the psychosocial impact of your upbringing has a fundamental effect on not just economic opportunities, but also your self-image.
The Glaswegian writer and commentator Darren McGarvey is live in the studio with us a little later. We look forward to that, plus this.
It's unlikely you'll see his feature film I Love You Daddy in theaters anytime soon, or ever. He'll pay a high price for what he did.
Referring to Louis C.K. But of course, bringing Kevin Spacey and the like, can you separate the work of these people from the shortcomings in their personal life? We'll look at that, and we start here.
However you do Christmas, we've got a turkey for you. Everyone's welcome at Tesco.
Absolutely everyone. I'll tell you more about that in just a second. We'll also be examining that story, that there is now a growing list, yet again, although these stories do seem to come around every so often, 40 Conservative MPs prepared to call for Theresa May to go. We'll look at that, the latest as well, in the goings-on with Mr Johnson and Mr Gove. I'm sure we'll touch on those areas too. Now, does it matter if Tesco feature in their Christmas commercial a Muslim family celebrating Christmas? 0345 6060 973. Does it bother you if Tesco feature a Muslim family in their Christmas commercial celebrating Christmas? This is one of 5 commercials that Tesco are releasing in order to showcase diversity at the festive season. It's very good of them, very good down there at Tesco HQ, with their openness, their diverse credentials, preening their whiskers they are. Now, it's interesting how this has created a huge divide. And when we talk huge divide, what we usually mean, of course, is that some people got the hump on social media. Nonetheless, it does, of course, lend itself to that wider debate about the celebration of Christmas and who should be included within it. I'll read you some of the comments in just a second that people have added to social media, but this particular advert, which features families from all walks of life, shows clips of a Muslim family celebrating the holiday, exchanging presents and cooking Christmas dinner. Part of 5 short videos set to be released in the run-up to promote diversity. Tesco end the ad with the phrase, everyone welcome. Now, if I wanted to be really, really cynical, they probably sat around at Advertising HQ and went, why don't we stick a Muslim family in a Christmas commercial? Then people like Collins on LBC will start banging on about it, and everyone will show up at Tesco to see what it's all about. It makes us look rather good. Well, it doesn't really. It's a bit daft. In fact, it's sort of slightly off the scale daft if your message is about Christmas. And the reason for that, here's the big reveal. In case you didn't know, Muslims don't celebrate Christmas. Ta-da! There you go. I've done it. 0345 6060 973. So, intellectually, it doesn't make any sense. However, there is another side to this, of course, and that is that most people who do celebrate Christmas aren't practicing Christians themselves. So does it actually matter? 0345 6060 973. If you look at the commercial verve behind Christmas, and in terms of the seasonal imperative to try and flog you lots of stuff, whether that's presents, clothes, gadgets, gizmos, tech, you name it, then that isn't really part and parcel of the Christian message anyway. So for Christmas, you can pretty much read a dual celebration. There will be Christians who will take it to their heart and celebrate it in the spirit of the religious teachings of Jesus Christ, and they will follow to the letter exactly what that's all about. And then there'll be the rest of us who will get fat, eat chocolates, turkeys, exchange gifts, wish we hadn't got half of them, be grateful for the other half, take some time off work, sleep too much, enjoy the odd tipple along the way, visit some relatives you'd rather not see, and then, of course, get ready for the next year. That's probably what most people will be doing around Christmas. That probably defines, if you like, the average Christmas celebration, I would suggest. Does it matter if a Tesco commercial features a Muslim family? So here's somebody who wrote on social media about this. I strongly object to your anti-Christian Christmas advert. How dare you politicise our festival in order to appease lefty political correctness? You have lost me as a customer. You should rethink your advertising campaign. British people still live here. He kind of lost the dressing room, didn't he, on the last point? He could have maintained the Christian position, but I'm not sure he really believed it. Heather McDougall says, "Hey Tesco, I don't mind one bit about your Christmas ads featuring Muslims wearing headscarves. I'm looking forward to your ads for Eid featuring Christians wearing crucifixes." I take the point. Michael Allen, Tesco is trying to appeal to Muslims to buy their food at Tesco. So that raises a point. Muslims use my local Tesco, but nothing is marked up as halal. So it follows that meat sold at Tesco's must be halal. Why is Tesco allowed to sell halal meat to Christians? Is their comment. Sophie says, if you're offended by the Tesco Christmas ad, then please boycott the store so I don't have to see your racist faces when I'm choosing my Brussels sprouts. Well, it doesn't make... There's another guy here that says, imagine being so empty and full of hate that a Muslim family in a Christmas advert offends you. Well, that defies logic, frankly, the last comment there, because you might have a question mark. There could be genuine religious, cultural, even if you wanted to be slightly more superficial, advertising reasons why you might question the motive for doing this. You can question it all you like. Doesn't mean you're full of hate and vacuous just because you have a view on it. It's a bit nonsensical. I would say this, however. I think since I've done radio, and phone-in radio, which is, a little while now, not quite Steve Allen and Clive Bull territory, or Ferrari territory, but yeah, I've been knocking around these parishes for some time. I think every year at some point we do a phone-in that asks, do you celebrate Christmas if you're not a Christian? And I always get loads of families, Muslims or Jewish families, say, well, we don't celebrate it as such. We don't go to church, but we kind of join in. No, I've never met a Muslim who is offended if somebody sends them a Christmas card, put it that way. And they might not send one themselves, which makes perfect sense, but if they received one, they wouldn't be offended. Some Muslims, Jews, Hindus, Sikhs, whatever, probably stick a Christmas tree out. Who doesn't like a Christmas tree? Which, by the way, I don't think is... if you look through the Bible, I'm not sure it mentions that, on the fifth day they lobbed up a fir tree. I don't think it says that. Stuck some lights on and stuff. So lots of people stick a Christmas tree up and they might enjoy the tinsel and the trimmings. And of course, a turkey munch is very nice, regardless of your faith. So there's probably lots of families who aren't Christians, but join in with that side of it. So yeah, it might not involve giving presents, it won't involve going to church, but you can stick a tree up. And most families who aren't Christians, their kids will have other friends who are Christians. So they will give them gifts and Christmas cards and stuff, and there'll be things going on at school. You can't fail to join in with it. The high street is full of it. The decks are already up in most places. Christmas lights adorning town centres and high streets and the like. So you can't avoid it. And isn't the whole joining in thing something we usually moan that people don't do? 0345 6060 973. If you are a genuine practicing Christian, I think you have every right to scratch your head on this and wonder why on earth you would be diluting the integrity of one's faith by saying it doesn't really matter, Christmas, does it? Anyone could, look, you could be a Muslim, could be anyone, celebrate Christmas. You don't have to be a Christian. I think that would probably... You wouldn't get Tesco doing that with any other faith. But bearing in mind, Tesco's audience, if you like, their customer base, is probably largely people, which is most of the country, who aren't practising Christians. In that case, I'm forced to conclude it doesn't really matter, does it? I'll talk to Jafari in just a second. Don't go away, do bear with me. Lisa in Hertford says, yes, it does bother me. I'm boycotting them. I worked at Tesco for 12 years and they often came up with ridiculous ideas from the marketing department. Jason says Christmas was stolen from the pagans, which I think is where the tree thing comes from, isn't it? Lord Veterinary says the upshot is if the people who are offended actually boycott Tesco, then it might lead to a more pleasant shopping experience. There could be that as well, couldn't there? There could be that too. If you're a practicing Christian, it would make sense that you'd be probably be largely bothered by quite a lot of the commercialisation, which has been with us forever, of course, now, of Christmas. Of course you would. It would kind of bother you that your such a crucial part of the Christian calendar was hijacked by trying to flog you kit and grub. I can see that. And you would therefore be further offended that somebody had deemed your main religious festival so worthless that anyone can do it. Yeah, it can be anyone at all. Even somebody who practices another religion. That I could see might bother you. For the rest of us, does it really matter? Is anybody really offended? The people who tweeted those comments, are they really offended? I get Lisa in Hertford's point about marketing. That does make some... If you look at how marketing works, such is the commercial world we live in. We'll be on the phones with you in just a second. 0345 6060 973. As a Muslim, by the way, what do you make of this ad? Let's look at it from that perspective as well. Do you find it a positive step? A bit patronising? Does it bother you? We'll hit the phones in just a few moments' time. Already busy on this one. Text us 84850. Tweet at LBC. You're listening to Late Nights with Ian Collins on LBC.
Nick Ferrari at breakfast on LBC.
When she took the job, people said that Cressida Dick was going to do a first-class job as Commissioner of the Metropolitan Police, and I have to say, well, to me, it does seem a blast of common sense, a very welcome blast of common sense from the nation's #1 police officer. And she talked about the need for teenage thugs to face harsher and more effective prison sentences. Nick Dubois, who was former Conservative MP for Enfield North.
The longer you have them in prison, incidentally, you have more chance of doing successful work with them in a controlled environment.
Zoe Levesque is a youth worker.
It's not an easy fix to put these young people into prison for longer, because prison is not a deterrent for them anymore.
Nick Ferrari at breakfast.
With Hampton by Hilton. Book direct for the lowest price.
Every weekday morning from 7, only on LBC.
Are electric cars okay for long journeys?
Are there any tax benefits to having them on my fleet?
Are they easy to drive?
Can they go off-road?
Do they keep their value?
Are they any good on motorways? Can you drive them at night?
Can they go up hills?
How many photocopiers can I fit in the back of one?
Got questions about adding electric cars to your fleet? Get the answers at goultralow.com.
The best place for sleepyheads is in their bridge bedding bed.
At Bridge Bedding, we have hundreds of beds and mattresses in stock from the biggest brands in the UK. We'll beat any price on a like-for-like basis and we'll deliver for free. So before you buy your next new bed, visit a Bridge Bedding Centre, Rectory Groveley-on-Sea, Upminster Road, Hornchurch, or online at bridgebedding.com.
The best place for sleepyheads is in their bridge bedding bed.
This fire's threatening homes and people's lives.
Gear up! Let's do what we do.
Critics everywhere are raving about Only the Brave, calling it emotionally powerful, inspirational, and a compelling human drama based on the incredible true story of real-life heroes.
Our escape route has been cut off!
With an all-star cast featuring Josh Brolin, Miles Teller, Jeff Bridges, and Jennifer Connelly.
As long as you can breathe, you can survive.
Only the Brave, in cinemas now. Rated 12A.
Antibiotics, we're wonderful pills, but don't ever think we'll cure all of your ills. So every time you feel a bit under the weather, don't always think that we can make you better. Take us for the wrong thing, that's dangerous to do. When you really need us, we could stop working for you. So please don't end up paying the price. Always take your doctor's advice.
Taking antibiotics when you don't need them puts you and your family at risk. Take your doctor or nurse's advice and keep antibiotics working.
Autoglass repair, Autoglass replace.
Chris, technician at Autoglass.
This time of year makes me want to stay in and hibernate, but some things won't wait till spring. My last customer at Autoglass had a chip on his windscreen, but just ignored it. Then, on a cold wet day, crack. He booked online and I replaced his screen at his house, but then he had to pay his expensive insurance excess, the last thing he needed at this time of year. If he had contacted us when he first saw the chip, I could have repaired it instead, quickly and conveniently. At Autoglass, we work around you and your plans, and come to you to do the work. Booking an appointment online is quick and easy. Plus, most insurance companies recommend us, and we'll deal with them on your behalf. So visit autoglass.co.uk to book online. Chips won't wait till spring to crack, so it's a good thing Autoglass doesn't hibernate. We're here 24/7.
So don't let it crack. Book online at autoglass.co.uk today.
Autoglass repair, autoglass replace.
Late Nights with Ian Collins on LBC. Call 0345 6060 973.
I should say that this is the first kind of wave of the Tesco commercials. There are others featuring other faiths, apparently. Mark made a point. He said, I read in Breitbart this week, I'm sure that was their headline for about 4 days, that the issue with the ad was that it contained Muslim women wearing headscarves and Sikh men wearing turbans, but there was no reference to Christianity in it. At least Tesco isn't saying happy holidays or season's greetings, though. Interestingly, more than half the best-known Christmas songs, such as Let It Snow, White Christmas and Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, were written by Jewish songwriters, so it's wrong to say Christmas celebrations are exclusively Christian. That is that quite the same thing, writing a song and celebrating the festive season? I take the point, though. I wonder whether, over these 5 videos that Tesco are releasing, I mean, if there is no nod to Christians, that would be a bit weird. Particularly if it happened because they forgot. If somebody in the marketing department suddenly said, "Oh, we've done the Christmas commercials, great, we've got it all done, everything's in the can, brilliant. Anything you've forgotten? No, we've got the tinsel, got the reindeer, the presents, got the Christmassy music. Anything else? Did you get the Christians? The what? The Christians. The Christians. In the Christmas ad. Bill, did you get the Christians? We forgot the Christians. Oh dear. I mean, that would be the mother of all failures, wouldn't it? But I'm assuming some Christian folk pop up in one of their commercials. We will wait and see. Sadiq, don't go away. Jafari is in Edgware Road. Evening to you, sir.
Good evening. How are you doing?
I'm all right, thanks. What are you thinking on this?
I know. Looking at it, because my background, my dad is a Muslim and my mother, she's a Christian.
Okay.
So I do understand both faiths and all that kind of thing. But when you look at the ad, but where if they're showing Muslims, celebrating a seasonal kind of thing like Christmas, that's kind of good, because at the end of the day, even me, when I was growing up, I do have friends who are Muslims or Christian, whatever. So which means we do know about it already. So, and we do, like example, my family, we do celebrate Christmas as well as, when it comes to fasting time, we do the Muslim celebration as well. So having that kind of advert, I think is kind of good that way. It shows that people can get involved in a festival, even if you don't understand what it stands for. At least you can get more information on it instead of, saying It's only for Christians.
But I mean, Christmas as a Christian festival is for Christians, yeah?
Yes,
but what we've done is redefined Christmas, I guess.
Of course, but now these days it's all about people like Tesco. They're trying to make money out of it.
Want to sell you some mince pies? They don't give a hoot what your faith is, as long as you buy them.
Yeah. So as long as you buy the product, that's all they care about. But still, we need to understand the reason why Christmas is Christmas. Of course, if someone of a different faith is trying to celebrate that, to do it, that's a good thing. At least maybe, you never know, maybe in the future they may even convert and become Christians. You never know. So the whole point of other people getting involved in that, it's not a bad thing. I don't see it as as a negative thing. It's a positive thing if they're doing it as well. If they're showing that even if you believe, whatever faith you believe in, you can get involved in it.
And of course, Tesco was a Jewish company, wasn't it, to begin with? I don't think.
I
think now it's too sort of multinational.
But now. Yeah, now it's all. I think it's but it's not a bad thing. Sometimes I think we just have to look at the bigger picture. But where sometimes people complain for no reason, because social media is there, so everyone is got there. Everyone can say, I don't like that, I don't like this. But
would you think it was, Javari? Would you think it was weird though if there were no Christians in if their ads? That would be strange, wouldn't it? If you got some Sikhs in there, you got some Muslims, a couple of Jews thrown in, the odd Hindu, Jehovah's Witnesses, everyone in there, but no Christians. Wouldn't that be weird?
No, it would be weird, but at a certain point I have to defend the party on the marketing people. Maybe they're thinking, okay, I don't need to involve Christians in it because they do know what Christmas is all about.
Because it's a given.
Yeah, they do know already what it's all about. we're trying to get the other people who think maybe they know they don't, they shouldn't be involved in it.
I think so. Jafari, you're right. That I think is the message they're trying to put across, and the tagline at the end is "Everyone welcome." And what they're really saying is everyone welcome to our store, of course, to buy lots of our food and stuff. That makes some sense. I guess it's only offensive. It's only offensive, perhaps, if you're a practicing Christian and you believe that this dilutes the message of Christianity. Sadiq is down Ilford Way. How are you doing, Sadiq?
Yeah, good. Yeah, great. Good evening, Ian.
What's going on here? What's happening?
I think it's absolutely hilarious.
You coming near our Christmas trees, taking our baubles? What's going on, Sadiq? I need to know.
The racist Islamophobes are getting their knickers in a twist, aren't they?
Something's gone badly wrong, hasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, there's a few points here. First and foremost, what can possibly be wrong with trying to make everybody feel welcome in Britain in 2017? Point number one. Number two, if we integrate, it's a problem. If we don't integrate, it's a problem. Where do we go with this?
There's bound to be, though, don't you think? There will be some Muslims that are uncomfortable with the message as well.
The point being is that, look, first and foremost, there's a question mark whether it's really a Christian celebration anyway, because it dates back to a pagan...
Yeah, the whole pagan thing.
So
Fair point.
That's a problem. The second thing is, why are you offended by the hijab? In every single picture that you see of Christmas and Jesus and what have you, Mary is wearing a hijab.
Yeah.
So what's your problem?
Even Father Christmas covers his head, doesn't he?
So this is nothing more than, another attack upon Muslims.
If you are... I get that, and I think you're right. It takes nothing for somebody to find a little space and think, I can just squeeze in a little bit my ism in there somewhere. And I think some people, as you rightly identify, have done just that. But if you were a practicing Christian and you really value the Christian message, and you're sensing that Tesco, and others for that matter, are saying, look, this Christian thing doesn't really matter, this is for anyone, that might be construed as offensive.
Well,
which is neither a comment about Muslims or Sikhs or anyone else. It's just a comment about Christmas.
Yeah, but the very people who are offended, let's look at the way that they celebrate Christmas.
Correct.
They get drunk.
Jack Daniels, after 8 mints.
Yeah. They have
bad
arguments
jumpers
with each other and destroy families at that time of year.
Yeah.
And they're offended by a picture of a woman in a hijab at Christmas. That's what gets them going.
And I would imagine, by the way, that they probably used Muslim actors to play the parts. I don't think they suddenly, asked people to pretend they were brown or black people up. So presumably Muslims joined in order to be cast for the commercial.
Well, Ian, at that time of year, everybody's on holiday. So families, regardless of what background, religion, faith, or whatever they are, they get together and they eat together and they spend time together. So,
as a Muslim, how do you what goes on for you around Christmas time?
Well, the family gets together. Everybody's, sometimes we'll visit relatives, from afar, or they'll come and visit us, or, we get together and eat together and spend time together.
Do you have a turkey?
Sometimes, yes. A halal one, but that's going to be problematic for the Islamophobes as well, and that's a whole other topic.
Yeah, that's true enough. Get into that any day of the week.
Yeah. So, there's a whole heap of issues that they have a problem. But the biggest problem is if we try to integrate, it's a problem, and if we don't, it's a problem. So we can't win, can we?
There you go. Sadiq, thank you for that. The set of commercials also features a black family. Not quite sure what the relevance of that is. A same-sex couple. A single-parent family. My goodness, they're really pushing the boat out here. Single-parent family celebration. How dare you celebrate Christmas? And a mother ordering people out of her kitchen. That'll be the Christian. That's where I'm going. That's where my money is. So they have included the Christians in this one as well. The inclusivity thing is alive and well. If you go to Adland right now, the men and women who dream up campaigns and ideas, then diversity is probably, those big old flip charts on an easel where somebody stands in a big conference room and goes, I've got these ideas, and they list them. Despite computer technology, some people are still writing that stuff down with big fat marker pens. One of those things. Right at the top of any campaign like this would be diversity. The John Lewis, is that the one with the monster under the bed? The John Lewis commercial didn't make me cry either, not this year. That's a mixed race family. I think the M&S one, that's the Paddington one, yeah? That's a mixed race family as well. That's kind of always going, because you can't there's a tipping point in the world we live in, and advertising is, I guess, key to that. They're sometimes the purveyors, the makers of the tipping point, but certainly they would certainly follow trends. That's the business they are in. And it would now just look all kind of shades, literally shades of odd, not to have sort of inclusivity in your commercials, whichever way you slice it. It would be foolish to think that we're not a fairly mixed country, and have been for donkey's years. So you're going to get the idea that there's a black family in the Tesco commercial. That doesn't register to me as being, my goodness, they put black people in a Christmas commercial. I don't think anybody would have that view, would they? Deliberately showing another faith in a Christmas commercial is a departure. It could be seen as controversial. If you're upset by it because you think, what are those pesky Muslims doing coming round here nicking our turkeys, then you've really no place in this debate at all. If you are a Christian who thinks that the entire commercialisation hijacks your festival and it's further diluted by the message that any old person can celebrate this, doesn't really matter, then I kind of get that a little bit. But for the rest of us, we should probably just shut up, really, and just say, well, it's just a Tesco commercial. Every little helps form a debate in these kind of areas. 0345 6060 973. More of your comments on this. I want to hear from both sides of this. I'd love to hear from a Muslim as well who is bothered by this. A Muslim, I know there are Christians who are bothered, but a Muslim who thinks this just sits uncomfortably with them. Also to come this evening.
It's unlikely you'll see his feature film I Love You Daddy in theaters anytime soon, or ever. He'll pay a high price for what he did.
Referring to the comedian Louis C.K. Many people, by the way, I'm surprised how many people don't know who Louis C.K. is. He's pretty big. Yeah, I asked this in the control room the other day, and nobody knew who he was. Keith kind of did, when pushed gently. But lots of people didn't. It's just me and you, Tom. However, of course, he now joins a long list of celebrities accused of sexual harassment. But can we separate the artist from their work? Or is it a celebrity scandal, celebrity's work forever tainted after a scandal of this kind of nature? Polanski's done sort of all right out of it, hasn't he? Are people going to stop watching Kevin Spacey films now because of all of that? American Beauty will always be a classic. We'll look at that one in just a little bit. Plus news that 40 MPs have agreed to sign a letter of no confidence in Theresa May. John Peet is the political editor of The Economist. He'll bring us the latest on this one in just a few moments. Right now, just gone 10:30, and the latest news headlines come from Paul Smith.
An Iranian official says at least 30 people have been killed and more than 200 injured after an earthquake in the Iran-Iraq border region. Tremors have been felt as far away as Qatar. The husband of a British woman jailed in Iran claims she's on the verge of a nervous breakdown, but is not calling for Boris Johnson to be sacked. Richard Ratcliffe has confirmed he's spoken to the Foreign Secretary about his wife's case. A security alert disrupted a Remembrance Sunday ceremony in Omagh earlier. Army bomb disposal teams were called after a viable pipe bomb was found near the town's war memorial. LBC weather, any showers turning to sleet and snow across northern areas tonight, even to low levels at times. Elsewhere it'll be dry with clear spells and a widespread frost developing, an overnight low of -2.
This is LBC.
A perfect journey has no interruptions. Take the quickest route with navigation and real-time traffic information in the Volvo V40R design. A perfect journey sounds different every time. Listen to your favorite music via internet radio. And a perfect journey needs a perfect finale. Park easily with Rear Park Assist. With monthly rentals of £199, the Volvo V40 T2R design Nav Plus has everything you need to make your journey perfect.
For your personal contract hire, initial rental 2750, Volvo Car Financial Services. Offer ends December 31st. Subject to status. You will not own the car. 18s and over. Guarantee may be required. Mileage and return conditions apply. Visit volvocars.co.uk for more details.
Take a test drive today at your local Volvo showroom Volvo, human-made.
Your company's doing pretty well. Your tax position's okay. So what's keeping you awake at night?
To face the future with confidence, talk to Vision Consulting. We've expanded from Gants Hill to the Gherkin, with clients from the fishmonger to the multi-million-pound property investment company. And our growth as a firm of chartered accountants and registered auditors is based on our passion for our clients' business.
Have confidence in your accountant. See visionconsulting.co.uk.
The big red building on Golders Green Road.
At Gold's Menswear, big men can choose from a huge range of top designer suits, jackets, blazers and trousers. They can fit anyone, extra tall, short, portly and king size up to 70-inch chest, all with savings of up to 75% off RRP. Gold's also offer an alteration service while you wait, plus Logan Barker shoes too. Open Sunday to Wednesday till 6, Thursdays till late, half day Friday.
The big red building on Golders Green Road.
Hi!